Those brave and valiant warriors of jihad enlist a 7-year-old girl as a suicide bomber. The January issue of National Geographic features a feminine boy with long pink hair on its cover. Now, doesn't that make you hopeful about the future? And a new study has confirmed what we already knew. The most intolerant people in the whole wide world are liberals. My name is Howard Riell, and this is Riell Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world at AmericanNewsNet.com and on Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, on Twitter at hashtag Howard Riell, my website, RiellTruth.com, and the book Riell Truth, Stay Angry, Still Time for a Great Stocking Stuffer, and, of course, as always, broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM, The Lion. Our call-in number is 877-254-7524. Right to the news item from Breitbart. Editor-in-chief of National Geographic magazine, Susan Goldberg, celebrates transgenderism by putting a 9-year-old feminine boy on the January cover of the magazine. In an op-ed at USA Today, Goldberg insists that because society is evolving in its consideration of gender, National Geographic is featuring Avery Jackson on its cover. She writes, quote, "The story of gender plays out all around us. More and more celebrities are shining a spotlight on the subject, but more quietly, our children, parents, teachers, medical professionals, and officials every day confront an array of issues with gender at the center. Everywhere we looked in the U.S. and around the globe, individuals and organizations are fighting to redefine traditional gender roles, whether it's girls in war-torn Sierra Leone rejecting the cultural norm of female genital mutilation and child marriage, men in Sweden making use of extended paternal leave after having a child, or people who reject binary boy-girl labels and find their true identity elsewhere on a gender spectrum," unquote. So, my friends, we're about to hit a break. Who are the bad guys here? Well, obviously, it's the parents of this poor little boy, who already at the ripe old age of 9 has been doomed to a lifetime of confusion, sadness, and rejection. But it's also Susan Goldberg and her liberal Twinkie friends in the media who are trying to turn this pathetic mental health disaster into some sort of role model for future generations. I assure you, there is no gender confusion. There's male, there's female. It's a short menu. And anyone who's got problems with that, and I don't even want to ask why a 9-year-old is grappling with these issues, anyone who's got a problem with that simple equation, male and female, needs to get help. Serious help. And real help. All right, my friends, it's Riell Truth. I got a lot for you today. Lots going on around the globe. We'll be right back.
He was in the world, and the world was made through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 10 through 13. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Ranch Restaurant in Greeley reminds everyone the difference between a child safe at home and a child missing can be as little as a few simple rules on how to return home. Set a curfew for your child and have him routinely called to check in with you. This reminder is from Ranch Restaurant, 714 6th Street in Greeley. The perfect place for lunch. Call ahead for orders at 970-356-1411. That's 356-1411.
Welcome back. My name is Howard Riell. The show is called Riell Truth. How crazy, how wacko are the people on the left? How loony are the liberals? Well, now that Donald Trump has been confirmed by the Electoral College, there are some people who are actually talking about assassination. I kid you not. Here's InfoWars' Alex Jones et al. Talking about the unthinkable. God forbid. Here we go.
This is the day that the electors in 50 states are to cast their ballots. Across the country, they are moving to get Republican electors to be faithless. As you know, the death threats, the home visits are exploding, while they have Nancy Pelosi's daughter hitting the streets with fake news all over TV, not just Fox News, but you name it, in newspapers everywhere saying, I'm sending people to hurt her, I've called for violence. No proof, no quotes, all lies. They're attacking, they're threatening, they're going to the houses. The folks on the Democrats are death-threatening Republicans. That's in the news. You can see it. But meanwhile, they turn themselves into victims, saying that I'm attacking them. Now, notice, it's the White House currently. It's Hillary. It's the George Soros-funded media magazine now attacking yours truly more than Rush Limbaugh, more than Matt Drudge, more than Stephen Bannon. And by the way, I don't want this distinction. I'm always talking about the other leaders, the other great people, and there are great leaders. But a lot of them reach more folks than I do overall. But I put out the counter talking points that are the most effective. I'm the voice. I'm the person rousing the crowd to resist all over the world, and they can't stand it. I'm very critical of the communist Chinese who have infiltrated our country, who are buying up Hollywood, all 6 major studios, who are censoring the internet, who are calling in PC World, in the Washington Post, in the LA Times, in the New York Times, in the Wall Street Journal. I've covered it all the last few weeks to censor the internet. They're advising the takeover. I've got the stats I covered yesterday and more. Force the United admitting it's the communist Chinese. They are allied with the robber barons, with the globalists, with the Rockefellers to take this country over politically and economically and through the media. They're hiring former Stasi as well to help police the EU media. You cannot make this up. Doing business the Chinese way, Facebook develops a censorship tool from the communist Chinese boards. So I'm the only person putting out the actual analysis, just like I share our pile on your chest. So you know the UN, under a strong cities initiative, is funding the police review boards to take over a department. He goes, no, I didn't know that. I know they're taking over and they're anti-American and it's a foreign force. And so I sent them a bunch of Breitbart articles, but even Associated Press articles with links to the outgoing Attorney General saying, we're going to come in and take over departments under UN command. I mean, this is going on, people. So they intended this takeover once Hillary got in and finished the job. But by you taking action and all the rest of it, speaking out, Trump barely got in with an electoral landslide, but lost by 2 million votes. They claim there's a million illegals voting, and the numbers are there. And so they're still trying to take over. And notice they use military technology. By military technology, I mean propaganda. They use dark propaganda, black propaganda, as it's called, where they go, we need to overturn this election in a coup, because Trump's trying to coup. They go, well, that's not nice, Pelosi. How dare you defend me? It's not a coup. All of us overturn the election. And all over the news, overturn it, overturn it, overturn it. Saturday Night Live, you name it, overturn it, overturn it. Meanwhile, no one's trying to overturn the election. That's not right. But you just said you want to shut up, crazy person. Sit down and shut up. I'll call you names. You're bullies. And so I've got all this incredible news to break down today. We've had hacks before, years ago, as we thought for security. One guy got in like 15 years ago and put a naked lady on a motorcycle on our front page. I thought it was kind of tasteful hack in a way. It wasn't anything vulgar, particularly bad. A lot of times it's people helping us. Hey, I just shut your website down. Give me a call. Wow, how'd you do it? Well, here's how I did it, and here's how you fix it. There's a lot of great hackers, great patriots. It's the hackers that have been defeating Hillary and the globalists, the whole WikiLeaks. I've said the white hat hackers and the leakers are the MVPs of 2016 global victories against consolidation of the New World Order. You are the spearhead of the truth. By and large, you know, I'd say 90% hackers are the Communist Chinese and their, quote, dark army, though, are the biggest, most powerful group in the world, probably more powerful than even the giant NSA Brits, which have a lot of good people actually working there. I said they've been leaking the intel on the election, WikiLeaks and more. But the Communist Chinese and their president have openly said that America's finished. They've said you'll never be great again. These are quotes. Your greatness will never return to the people's daily. Ha ha ha, you'll never get your jobs. It's China century. It's over for you. It's all very aggressive. China is super aggressive to black people, super hateful towards other Asian groups, one of the most homogeneous racial groups genetically on the globe. They're more genetically similar than even your average Jew. They are the most homogeneous, racially, quote, pure group out there. I'm not bashing Chinese, folks. Let's just be honest. They're funding political correctness moves in our country. They are literally taking us over. Just as the globalists made deals with them in the 70s, the Bushes made deals with them, Soros has made deals, all the usual suspects have used China. They've allowed them to steal their intellectual property. They allowed them to have no environmental standards, lower taxes, all designed to migrate everything over to China.
All right, guys, we've heard enough about China. I wanted him to get to the part about Trump. He didn't. Maybe we'll come back to it later in the show. More likely, we'll just continue with news item from Alex Jones at InfoWars. A 7-year-old girl was sent to conduct a suicide bombing targeting a police station in the Syrian capital, Damascus. The girl detonated the bomb at the entrance of Al-Midan police station, killing herself in the process while injuring one other. Photographs and videos have emerged of the little girl's corpse and the destruction of the police station. Unquote. My friends, this is what Muslims will do. 7-year-old girls blowing themselves up. So if you are hopeful, we talked about that feminine little boy on National Geographic's front page. If you are hopeful that Islam is somehow going to mature and get civilized and get rational, well, you can forget it. They're training kids as young as 7 to commit suicide attacks. In the Palestinian territories, they teach 3-year-olds to hate and kill dehumanized Jews. So forget about the future. We want to solve the problem of Islam. We got to solve it now, today. We'll be back.
We all know that our government is out of control. More to the point, the people in it. How can we, the people, bring it back to the people's servants, not the people's masters? Liberty Forum and the Freedom Rider says officials in government must be made accountable for their actions. AccountabilityRevolution.com is the place to go to learn how you can actually make that happen. Become their judges, not their slaves. AccountabilityRevolution.com.
Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies reminds us Alzheimer's and other types of dementia are progressive diseases knowing no bias, no matter the race or gender. Warning signs include memory loss and loss of initiative and drive. If you know of a loved one, a friend, or a neighbor showing these signs, contact your family physician now. This message from Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies. For more information on their services, call 970-484-7981. That's 970-484-7981.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
All right, guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. I am Howard Riell, and if you're like me, you spend your days and nights wondering about one question. Not who is God, not the meaning of life. The question is, why isn't Hillary Clinton being prosecuted? It's a great question, and so far I haven't heard a good answer. Here's a report from Newsmax, Newsmax Prime, talking about exactly that question, and I want to know what they have to say. Let's listen.
Said for more on all this, I'm pleased to be joined here on the National Anchor Desk by Miranda Kahn and by our good friend, political analyst Dick Morris, who, of course, was the best-selling author of the book Armageddon, How Trump Can Beat Hillary. So you got that done. You wrote the book. He read it. You proclaimed it the night of our election coverage. Now, Dick Morris, in the wake of this decision, how does Donald Trump fare?
Well, I think it's a huge mistake, and I agree thoroughly with your characterization or comparison between this and the Ford pardon of Nixon. Except again, it's your own people that'll be mad at you, not the others. And it is so cynical. I mean, here we all really believed and still believe that she did horrible things, really illegal things, that the entire Clinton Foundation and the State Department was one big racketeering organization enmeshed in bribery, that she thoroughly endangered and compromised all of our national secrets, and we voted on that basis, and the election's over, and Trump says, only kidding, just politics. All of those Democrats who said this is just political, this is just an electioneering charade, this isn't serious judicial stuff, this isn't real, are suddenly proven right. And all the Republicans who said, no, this is very serious, this is real, whether she's running for president or not, this has to be prosecuted, are suddenly undercut by their own president. I think Trump will pay dearly for this.
She was talking about helping her heal.
Yeah, well, we don't help bank robbers heal. We don't help murderers heal. We don't help kidnappers heal. And as far as I'm concerned, she committed a serious crime. It should be investigated, and she should be prosecuted. Now, if at some point after that prosecution happens, after she's found guilty, after she's sentenced, if the president decides that he doesn't want a former presidential candidate to be locked up, that there's not a scene you want the American people to have to live through, fine, then commute her sentence. Not partner, commute the sentence. But to do it now, or to say he's not going to pursue it, when it was such a fundamental part of his campaign, is outrageous. And I totally condemn Trump for doing that.
So do you think that this alludes to the fact that Clinton herself is above the law, even when it comes to a Trump administration?
It certainly looks like it. It certainly looks like they can get away with anything in the world. And the idea that she's suffered enough, well, so is people that are arrested for crimes. Go back to General Petraeus, go back to Sandy Berger, go back to Deutsch, the CIA head, and say, I'm sorry we prosecuted you. You didn't do a tenth of what Hillary did. And the Clinton Foundation, what are you going to do? Prosecute a guy that takes $100 bills and paper bags and to influence decisions and leave the Clinton Foundation unscathed? This is cynical, this is outrageous, and I really, really condemn it.
The fundamental problem conservatives and Republicans have when they are given power, suddenly they are indulgent toward those who would show no indulgence toward them. And as I was saying earlier, Dick, I think this sets up another pretext. First of all, since he has no pardon power yet, it would have been better to keep the pressure on Barack Obama, and given Mr. Obama's disconnection with the people, let Obama say she's above the law.
Yep.
Let him. But now what happens is on Thanksgiving Day, and I hope I'm wrong about this, the Dreamers are going to get a pardon, and President Obama is going to say, I'm simply following the charitable example of my successor.
I don't know about the Dreamers. I don't know if this goes into immigration. But clearly this makes it very easy for Obama to pardon her. And it's this is outrageous. Just incredible. It erases all of the good stuff Trump has done so far in his administration.
Then why do it?
Because Elephants don't like elephant hunting, even when they're not in the crosshairs themselves. They think it's immoral. And presidents don't like going after former presidents or almost presidents. It's the ultimate old boys club. And at that altitude, breathing that air, it makes sense to them.
So this is if we're cynical, it's a sop to the elites, to the Upper East Side. And those guys are not going to be with Trump anyway.
No, of course not. And it's inexplicable is what it is. I mean, it really calls into question whether the whole thing was just a charade, whether he was ever really offended at any of the things she did.
But he had to know this was going to come up. I mean, this has been the crux of his campaign for months.
Kellyanne left him wiggle room. He could hear a storm and back off this.
So this is, as I said at the outset of the program, could this be, in classic Washington speak, the trial balloon?
I think it's more than that. I think it's the trial mistake. But I think they could back off it. This was Conway making that announcement, not Trump. This was not Trump promising it. It was Conway indicating that this is probably what's going to happen, or this is Trump's inclination. And I think there's going to be hell to pay. I think tonight all over the country, the right wing is going to be excoriating Trump. And I think there's a good chance Trump backs away.
Well, it also brings up another prospect. If not for the Obama pardon, you see, by this casual trial balloon pronouncement from Kellyanne, whatever, the administration, the incoming administration, has trumped its own transition message. Last night, Donald Trump put out a 2.5-minute video to the country. But even within that video, on his first 100 days, no specific mention of repealing Obamacare and no mention of building the wall on the southern border.
My friends, obviously this is from a few weeks ago, and it's a little bit dated, but the conversation about Hillary Clinton prosecution is absolutely as fresh today as it was the day that Donald Trump came out, and they mentioned it, and said he was not interested in prosecuting Hillary. He wants to let her heal. But keep in mind that there has been and there still is an investigation underway of the Clinton Foundation by the FBI. And if they find wrongdoing, they will, under whoever gets appointed to head the FBI under President Trump, they will follow the leads as they must. I do not believe for a minute that Donald Trump is going to run interference for Hillary Clinton. Why did he say what he said? I think he just wanted to try and make nice to calm the waters a little bit. I think that personally he would love to broil Hillary Clinton alive, just like I would, just like you would. So time will tell. Appearances aren't always what they appear to be. Item from InfoWars. A new study has confirmed what we all knew, but what leftists are loath to admit. Liberals are far more intolerant of other people's opinions. A survey by PRRI found that, quote, political liberals are far more likely than conservatives to say they removed someone from their social media circle due to what they shared online, unquote. Nearly a quarter, 24% of Democrats, say they blocked, unfriended, or unfollowed someone after the presidential election, compared to just 9% of Republicans and 9% of independents who were triggered to do the same. Almost 3 in 10, 30% of Democratic women removed someone from their social media network because of their political opinion. Stop. I can relate to this, my friends. I've mentioned my friend Helene on this show before. She and I have been friends and colleagues since the 1980s. In the last couple of years, we chat with each other almost every day. She's got a great sense of humor. She's smart. She's informed. But she's also a flaming liberal. And it was several months ago that I found she wasn't returning my texts, my emails, and I asked her why. She said, it's this Trump thing. I just can't continue talking to you. That's this. Liberals are so intolerant that if you believe what they don't believe, meaning if you believe in reality and common sense, they want nothing to do with you. Why? And the answer is obvious. They don't want their unreal bubble being burst by your dedication to reality. They want to stay in some nice, cozy, gauzy netherworld where what's true is whatever they feel like being true. They need help. They need help. They'll never get it. Item from AL.com. There were 7 that's Alabama.com. There were 7 faithless electors, the name given to electors who vote contrary to the candidate that won their state, 5 among Democrats and 2 for Republicans. 4 Washington state delegates opted not to vote for Clinton, the state's winner. 3 voted for former Secretary of State Colin Powell, and 1 for Faith Spotted Eagle, who'd been fighting the Dakota Access Pipeline in North Dakota. Hawaii elector David Mullenix, a Democrat, cast a ballot for Sanders over Clinton, unquote. So Hillary Clinton and her people joined Jill Stein in this initiative, first for a recount and then to try and flip electors. Bottom line, Trump walks between raindrops. It cost the left votes, cost Hillary votes. Trump lost 2 votes, but that's basically nothing. Item from Breitbart. Despite appearances to the contrary, the murder of the Russian ambassador in Ankara and the Berlin massacre in a Christmas market have nothing to do with religion, but are economically motivated, according to the Secretary General of the Italian Bishops' Conference. On Monday, a gunman shot the Russian ambassador to Turkey, Andrei Karlov, at an art exhibit in Ankara, reportedly shouting Allahu Akbar while he gunned him down. Later in the day, a Muslim Pakistani refugee drove a semi through a Christmas market in Berlin, killing 12 people and injuring many others. In an interview with the Italian daily Corriere della Sera, Bishop Nunzio Galantino said the Berlin and Ankara terrorist attacks were not motivated by religion, but by money. Stop it! I mean, really, stop it. Bishop Galantino. Bishop Galantino and others who refuse to see reality. Maybe the good bishop needs to spend more time in front of a TV and less time with altar boys. I don't know. But I'm telling you this. Muslim violence has everything to do with religion because it's their religion, it's Islam that propels them to violence, that tells them that violence is a godly, elevated thing to do. It is only religion. And if this bishop and other bishops, and maybe even the Pope, if they believe this is true, then maybe they ought to spend a little more time in the real world. I don't know if anyone's translating my show into Italian, but maybe that's what they need. Item from Observer.com. Amid the post-election outrage, a prevailing lesson for Democrats stands out among all the other excuses and scapegoats Hillary Clinton partisans and mainstream media have focused on. Bernie Sanders would have beaten Donald Trump. The hypothetical keeps arising, cited by Sanders supporters demanding change in the Democrat Party, with Clinton backers denying it to avoid responsibility for propping up a failed candidate. Stop. It's called justice. The Democrat Party lied, cheated, weaseled, connived. As a result, by backing a corrupt criminal candidate who had no real qualifications, the Democrat Party not only went down to defeat, but may well soon be buried. Would America really have voted Bernie Sanders into the White House? You know, I was talking about this earlier today with my consigliere. He believes America would have. I don't. Bernie is too much of a wingnut. He's not attached to the solid ground. He is a socialist, hardcore socialist, which means he would have taken the glorious disaster that is the economy in Venezuela and transplanted it here. You think Americans would have voted for that? If you think they would, call me and tell me. I personally don't think so, but what do I know? Item from the Washington Post. In the closing days of his campaign, Donald Trump vilified one of the world's richest men, Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim, as part of a globalist cabal conspiring to extinguish his populist candidacy yet. Over the weekend, Slim journeyed to Mar-a-Lago, Trump's estate in Palm Beach, Florida, for what the president-elect described as, quote, a lovely dinner with a wonderful man, unquote. Well, that wonderful man with all his billions, Carlos Slim, is about to get the planet dropped on his head. We'll be back.
We all know that our government is out of control. More to the point, the people in it.
How can we, the people, bring it back to the people's servants, not the people's masters? Liberty Forum and the Freedom Reader says officials in government must be made accountable for their actions. AccountabilityRevolution.com is the place to go to learn how you can actually make that happen. Become their judges, not their slaves. AccountabilityRevolution.com.
Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies reminds us Alzheimer's and other types of dementia are progressive diseases, no bias, no matter the race or gender. Warning signs include memory loss and loss of initiative and drive. If you know of a loved one, a friend, or a neighbor showing these signs, contact your family physician now. This message from Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies. For more information on their services, call 970-484-7981. That's 970-484-7981.
Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom-tailored capabilities as modest as emergency lighting all the way to commercial-scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Article 1, Section 10. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15.
All right, guys, we're back. Howard Riell Truth. Now, if you're like me, you not only want Hillary prosecuted, you want to know that she's standing before a judge, right? Well, I've got that for you. Here's Judge Jeanine Pirro from Fox News talking about your favorite Wicked Witch of the West and mine. Here we go. My friends, I have to concur with the judge on that. Well, exactly why is she saying this? Well, she's about to make it clear. Here we go. My friends, here's the thing about Hillary Clinton. She is receding into the past, into the rear view mirror of history, and that's a good thing. But I don't want her to disappear because, yes, she's got a date in court. She's got to face justice. She talks about fake news. Here's a clip from Fox News about 10 days ago. Michelle Malkin talking to the people on the couch about fake news and Hillary Clinton, who is the queen of fake news. Listen to this. Well, we just talked a little while ago about how intolerant liberals are, and so yeah, if you don't bow and scrape before the god of climate change, then you don't hang with the liberals, which I think would be an improvement in your life. Item from McClatchydC.com. President Barack Obama pardoned 78 people and shortened the sentences of 153 others convicted of federal crimes on Monday, that's yesterday, the most individual clemencies ever granted in a single day by any president. As he nears the end of his second term, Obama has issued more commutations than the previous 11 presidents combined, according to the White House. Stop. Hasn't Barack Obama's entire presidency been about putting the bad guys out on the streets of America? Whether they are our own imprisoned criminals, whether they're people from other countries, whether they're people coming through our southern border. If someone is a desperado, a criminal, a rapist, a murderer, a drug dealer, Barack Obama wants them walking the same streets as you and your family. Think about that. Especially if you voted Democrat. We'll be back.
Howdy, folks. Have you ever thought about having your own backyard chickens? Now you have a source for certified organic, no GMO, no soy chicken feed. HappyHens.biz can even deliver, or you can pick up. Call me, Tim, at 303-829-5948, or go to HappyHens.biz for pricing and ingredients. At HappyHens.biz, we love HappyHens.biz, or call us at 303-829-5948.
If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Ferris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Ferris Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Ferris Survival.
24-hour Walmart Supercenter South Longmont reminds us no one anywhere is more noble, righteous, selfless, or courageous than our United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women and their families foot the bill for our freedom every day. We can show we appreciate their sacrifices. Send a military care package today and let them know that they are now and always will be in our thoughts and prayers. This message is from 24-hour Walmart Supercenter South on East Ken Pratt Boulevard in Longmont. On the air for our troops.
The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
Alright guys, I'm back. I warned you I'd be back, and I'm back. I'm going to throw it back to InfoWars, talking about the most recent news. Trump secures the requisite number of electoral votes to become our next president to be sworn in January 20th. Here is Alex Jones talking about just that. My friends, liberalism is a cult. It's a fake religion. They've got idols, and they ask for your soul. Alex Jones is right. You know, as an Orthodox Jew, Christians will say to me, what do you think about having a creche in the center of town? What do you think about Christmas displays? I say, fantastic. Enjoy your religion. Why shouldn't you put it out in the streets? Have fun. I wish more people would enjoy a nourishing, healthy relationship with God. As long as you don't think that God wants you to cut people's heads off, or throw them off roofs, or sink them in water inside steel cages, or burn them alive, or throw acid in their faces, or genitally mutilate young girls. Be proud of your religion. Of course, display it in public. Why not? We always have, we always will. If the religion you follow is one of peace and harmony and brotherhood and tolerance, of course, celebrate it. There's nothing at all wrong with it. But my friends, wait. Wait until there's a good sizable Muslim minority in your city, and then you'll hear what intolerance sounds like. They won't have any religious icons out in public. They won't have any non-Muslim observances. They come in and they start to take over. And so once again, the question devolves to this. Will we allow an invading force to come and take away our homes and our freedom? If the answer is yes, well, then I feel sorry for you. If your answer is no, then I want to know what you're doing to stop it. Listening to the show is a great step one. What are you going to do next? What are you going to do next to stop the spread of Islam in America? If your answer is nothing, well, then crawl under your bed. Hide there. Maybe no one will come for you. Who knows? But I don't think that that's the kind of person that listens to my show. I think my listeners are smart, they're savvy, they're sharp, and they take action. They oppose evil. They're not apathetic. You folks are doers. You care. You're passionate. You're zealous. And now that Donald Trump is in the White House as of January 20th, and now that we've got all three sections of the government, now is the time to act and make a difference for the next generation. We'll take a break and we'll finish up here on Riell Truth.
Sponsored by Show Your Colors, flag holders, flags, and gear. Our vehicles are an extension of our freedom. They can also be a symbol of that freedom. With full-size flags flying from your truck, car, or motorcycle, you make a statement to all that you are a patriot. Go to showyourcolors.biz for the best vehicle flag holders, flags, and gear. Let people know where you stand by the way you ride or drive.
I'm Joe Jakeman, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and I'd like to thank all of our customers for doing business with us over the years. Because of you, we are celebrating 20 years in business. So here's to you for allowing us into your cars, offices, homes, computers, iPods, and anything else you use to tune into us, but most importantly, for doing business with us. We give you the news to disturb the comfortable at allamericangold.com. The Tinfoil Nation tunes in every day from 9 to 10 a.m. for Economics with Attitude, and we continue to deliver gold and silver right to your doorstep, privately, securely, timely, and most importantly, complaint-free. To learn more about gold and silver, visit us at allamericangold.com or simply call us at 800-951-0592 to place an order. Now this is the testimony of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "No." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Item from newsbusters.org. Late Monday afternoon, MTV News underlined its reputation of being a haven for far-left millennials as it released a video on Twitter dubbed 2017 Resolutions for White Guys that offers such advice as stop mansplaining and stop saying all lives matter and blue lives matter. Lasting 1 minute and 21 seconds, the video provides ample reason for older generations to despise millennials and goes hand in hand with a litany of meltdowns by liberal snowflakes since the election of Donald Trump as the next president of the United States. Unquote. My friends, when I look at the next generation of Americans, I am scared spitless. Item from Sidney Ross Singer, should chess be banned? In today's politically correct PC world, everything is under review for potential offensiveness. While I find such witch hunts of offensiveness offensive, I'd like to offer a brief argument of why the game of chess may come under the scrutiny of the PC police and be banned. The most obvious problem is that chess is inherently racist. Black versus white is not something we should be encouraging in a racially tense culture. And of course, white goes first, which is something I would think is disturbing the people of color. It's like sitting on the back of the bus. It's another form of white supremacy. On the other hand, white going first suggests that whites are more aggressive than blacks. The board is set up with everyone's pieces in line with total peace on the playing field, and then the whites attack every time. The message is that being white makes you the aggressor. And aggression is an important part of chess. I once tried playing chess with a computer and tried not being aggressive. It was impossible. Aggression is built into the game. It's a game of war and conflict. If it trains the player to look for ways of defeating the opponent, not for ways of making peace. As with all wars, there will be casualties, usually to pawns. Pawns are also the weakest pieces. You'd think that a kingdom should protect its most vulnerable and weakest citizens, not send them to war to be sacrificed like, well, pawns. And it's all to protect the king. You can have all your pieces, but if the king is taken, all is lost. Everyone, including the queen, is sacrificed if needed to save the king. Of course, this unquestioning subservience to a monarch is very undemocratic and even fascistic. It's also misogynistic to assume that the queen must die for the king. Shouldn't the king protect his queen? What happened to chivalry? Unquote. My friends, it's a joke. It's not very funny. Item from the Standard in the United Kingdom. A 12-year-old child dubbed the kindergarten bomber has been arrested in Germany accused of plotting to blow up a Christmas market. The boy, who has dual German-Iraqi citizenship, is thought to be the youngest person ever to be detained in Europe for a suspected terror offense. According to Focus magazine, he was strongly radicalized in recent... Oh, stop right there. I'm watching TV and they're trying to figure out what's the connection between the guy who perpetrated the act in Berlin and ISIS. Where's the connection? Schmucks. The connection is Islam. The lone wolf is just as much a Muslim as the ISIS card-carrying member. The connection is Islam. The connection is Allah. Whether or not the guy who drove that truck ever signed an oath of loyalty to ISIS is completely beside the point. It's Islam. On the march, aggressive, savage, barbaric. And the West is still doddering and dittering and fumbling and stumbling. They're waging war against us, and we're scratching our heads. My friends, got to take action. Got to take action, otherwise all will be lost. I will be back tomorrow, my friends. More Riell Truth. Listen to me. I say it almost every day. I'll say it again. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And stay angry. I'll see you tomorrow.